Hey guys, welcome to the 101 and 10. This is your host, Ayasha Roberson, and I'm back this week with a new indie artist from around the world. And today we have the lovely and talented, multi talented guest of Carbon Love, Mr. Alex Beane.
Oh my gosh.
Yay! Thank you so much. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being on the show as well. As
Well,
we
thank
are
you for that incredible introduction.
Oh, you're welcome. And then we're in the holiday season. Now, I want to know a little bit about Carbon Love. How did you start off with the name and how did you evolve into the group that you are today?
So the name is kind of a funny story. It's a two-parter. Uh, it the main answer that we give people is just that constant. It kind of came from that constant battle that everyone has between what can and what can't be explained. Like you can break down music and you can say, oh, it's these chord changes, or it's this drum pattern, this or that. You can like dissect it and make sense of it. But at the end of the day, no one can ever explain why it's a good song or why like the simplest little thing can make you feel a certain way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it
So
does.
it's the carbon and the love. It's the constant search for truth between those two things of like feeling it and understanding it.
I love it. So it's like always evolving like your music is. Now, how can you
Exactly.
tell me how, because it makes sense. I definitely see the gap between the music and the name. So how did your music continue to evolve over the years? Because it has really evolved from what it was a couple of years ago to where it is now.
Yes, we really started with a lot more kind of dancey music, and um I don't know, maybe it just came from where we were as musicians and what we were listening to. I think just as a musician, you got to know who your influences are and who you're trying to be and who you admire. And for a long time for us, I really liked Calvin Harris, and so that first album was very Calvin Harris inspired. But now we've kind of headed into this sort of hip hop, uh, R&B, and I don't really know who we sound like. I don't really know who we sound like, but
I think y'all sound like yourself. I mean, I love the music. It has this coolness with this. It's very suave. It's and it's also down to earth as well. Like the music, I definitely can feel, when I think about your song Dreaming, I can definitely be on that dream. Like, yeah, that's I'm feeling that. Like the music is definitely something that you can relate to. It's not to a point where it's unrelatable or people can't relate to it because we're all evolving in different ways. And I love the fact that your music has evolved to where it is today because I definitely see the growth and it's a good thing as well. And it's good that you don't sound like someone else. You have your own sound, which is great. And I think it's hard. I've said this before as indie artists to really find your own sound. You
definitely.
have influences, but have your own sound. So I mean, I know that you mentioned just one musical influence. What other musical influences have you had over the course of your career?
Gosh. The one that's really been doing it for me lately has been Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder,
Okay.
a lot of that kind of stuff, because we're actually, for our third album, which is sort of in the works right now,
Oh,
we're doing a lot of like kind of funk and sort of different.
wow.
It's still kind of in that, it still fits the Carbon Love
Mhm.
mold, I suppose, but
Mhm.
I love that kind of, I don't know, we just like to listen to the king of pop, I guess.
So that's where your energy is taking you to, which is great because the King of Pop had so many influences. When he was a kid growing up in the Jackson Five, he loved James Brown. That's why a lot of his
Mm,
movies come from James Brown as well. For those who don't know,
yes.
so it's good
Yes.
to see where your energy is pulling you to when it comes to certain musical people. I think it's great that you can kind of go back in time a little bit and pull from things that is very much was very popular at one time and then make your own musical style and creation from that. That's awesome. So I'm looking forward to this new album coming up, your third album coming up soon. So we got to have
Oh,
you
thank
back
you.
on the show in the near future.
Oh gosh, yeah. We better get to work.
Yeah. Now, can you tell me a little bit about who is the songwriter, the song Dreaming? I want to talk about that a little bit. Now, who's the singer, who's the songwriter, who is the producer? Where's this the group? Where who does what?
So it's really me and my buddy Cliff. We are kind of everything in a way. We both produce, arrange,
Oh,
write, and his influences are a little bit different than mine. He's actually more got this like harder Nirvana
okay.
sort of thing, and he's really in charge of the drums and a lot of the guitar.
Okay.
And then I kind of fill in the guitar and vocals and piano, some organ stuff. So he kind of builds from the bottom, I build from the top, and it sort of just comes together, and we keep bouncing things off each other until it comes together.
Well, it's good. It's a very good natural type of energy and influence that y'all have together, because it's like the yin and the what's it, yin and yang?
Yeah,
Yin and
yin yang. Yeah, say that 10
yang.
times fast.
Yeah, y'all have it's a good influence, and I think it melts really together with your music as well. Now let's talk about your new song, Confessions, which is out today, guys. So make
Out
sure
today.
you purchase the song. The song is great. The video as well, too. So you have to check out the video on YouTube as well. Make sure you like and subscribe to their channel as well, because I did check out the video. So let's talk about the song Confession. Who is that about, or what is that about, and what are you confessing in the song?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the beauty of it is that you don't really know, I think that's what almost in a way makes it relatable. There's a lot of certain things that you might not want to tell somebody, or certain things that you might think like, maybe I want to get this off my chest, but I don't want someone to look at me differently, or this or that. And I think when we wrote it, it was kind of in COVID time, and we say something about like being stuck in a cruise mood. Yeah. And I think that was one of the hardest parts of COVID, was being stuck in your house with your thoughts. When you slow down, it can kind of bring up old feelings or old this or that. And like, do you kind of know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that was where it really came from, like the solitude of sitting and thinking like, okay, these are my mistakes. This is my past. And how do I be better tomorrow?
Correct. I was going to say, you got some stuff on your chest, and because of the old memories that was in your subconscious mind, it just came up. So you just need to confess, and it feels so good to release it as well. You know what I mean? And I think it's good when I hear the song Confession, it's not like, oh my God, you're crying type of thing. It's like, okay, it's a good confession. I released it. I truly feel that, it's the end of the chapter, and it's a new beginning. So that's the way I look at the song. I don't know whether that's the way y'all formulate the song, but that's the way it touched to me when I heard the song Confession, and then I saw the video as well. Now, where did you tape that video at?
Oh, there's a place. I don't know if you've ever been to Dallas.
I have.
You have been to Dallas? Yeah. Okay, great. Oh, all right. Well, geez, we got to catch up next time.
Definitely. I haven't been to Dallas in years, but when I went, it was probably like, I'm going to tell my age, it was like 2000 and maybe like 6, 5, somewhere around that. Yeah. I look very young for my age, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I've been to Dallas.
That's a great thing. It's at Rainbow Vomit. Was the place. And it's it changes designs, but it's sort of like an Instagram candy venue. I mean, that's sort of what it's designed for. And so we rented the space out, brought some props, and it was actually originally going to kind of be a Halloween-y thing, just because of the spoiler alert, the blood and this and that. But we were having too much fun with it creatively, and took a little too long to edit it. So now we're like, oh, let's confess before Thanksgiving instead.
Or around the holiday season,
Yeah, get it all out before Thanksgiving dinner. Your family doesn't need to hear about that.
Exactly. Or just do it before the end of the year. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good song to kind of be like, okay, yeah, I need to let this go.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's a great video. Going.
I love the cinematology. I mean, the camera work is phenomenal in the video. I love it, and I love also just the movement and the creativity and the flow of each scene in the video. So guys, you have to check out that video. Now, I want to ask you, Alice, can you tell the audience where could they find your music, how they can connect with you, how they can book you for upcoming show and an event?
Wow. So first, what you want to do is you want to go to carbonlove.net. That is where you can find all of our stuff. You can go to YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, however you consume your stuff. And thanks to the lovely team at B Squared Management, we'll be setting up a tour and bookings a lot more. But if you're just want to find us in Dallas, come around Deep Ellum and we'll be there.
Cool beans. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the 1-on-1 in 10, where you get to see your favorite indie artists from around the world 1-on-1 in 10 minutes. I'm your host, Ayasha Roberson. Stay tuned, guys, next week for a new artist. And thank you again, Alex, for being on the show with us.
Thank
Carbon
you.
Love. And guys, I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Make sure you go to www.urbansocialitesnj.com. Have a good holiday, guys. Take care.
Woo.